This video was recorded in April, shortly after the release of DeVita's EP, prior to the ongoing series of protests and civil unrest which began in Minneapolis on May 26, 2020. These protests began as a response to the murder of George Floyd, a 46-year-old black man who died during an arrest after Derek Chauvin, a Minneapolis Police Department officer, knelt on Floyd's neck for nearly 9 minutes, as 3 other officers looked on. Beginning as local protests, these protests quickly spread nationwide and in over 60 countries internationally in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. As a direct result of these protests, officers involved in the murder of George Floyd were charged and arrested. It has also resulted in numerous legislative proposals on multiple levels intended to combat police misconduct, systematic racism, qualified immunity, and police brutality in the U.S. However, this is just the beginning. Let us not forget those who have yet to receive a single drop of justice, such as Breonna Taylor. The fight is not over. Stay strong and stay safe. Say her name, Breonna Taylor. Black Lives Matter. All lives won't matter until Black Lives Matter.
Wait. So, do you want to do like some sort of intro?
Yeah, probably. Hello. Welcome to a special episode of This is the Real World.
Reacts.
So I'm Ella.
I'm Yanni.
And we completely forgot to introduce This is the Real World. It's a podcast founded and co-hosted by us that is meant to be a series of conversations on various topics ranging from capitalism to racism in the alternative music scene, from the perspectives of young adults in transition whose age is sometimes used to discredit their opinions. The name of the podcast is used to rebel against the ageist notion seen in the saying, typically heard from older adults, wait until you get into the real world. This channel will be focusing on less serious topics, with the React series meant to allow us to share our thoughts and reactions on a variety of films and shows and music. Enjoy. And today we're going to be listening to DeVita's CRÈME album with a track list consisting of Movies, EVITA, All About You, 1974 Live, and Show Me.
We are going to preface and say that we have watched the first 2 videos, EVITA and Movies, but because of that, we decided that we wanted to react to the rest of the album. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start watching it.
And I remember this is the scene that they used to announce her joining
AMG,
right?
For a trailer, yeah. It's very futuristic, but like 90s futurism. I love like the kind of nostalgic feel to it.
I love how she has a diverse squad. I always love that.
I love the sound. It's kind of jazzy.
City poppy. Stephanie City Pop from the 80s.
Yeah.
Definitely, it feels like it.
I love her voice tone.
Yes.
Did you know she was holding a pizza box?
Yeah, I noticed the pizza was in the shape of a heart on the cardboard.
Oh, that's cute. I wonder if the lyric "Don't Rock the Boat" is any sort of reference to Aaliyah, "Rock the Boat," because the whole video is like 80s, 90s, you know? Or like nostalgia run.
Ooh, that fit. Oh.
I love how they're standing in a like metro in front of that. Like New York. Are they in New York? Do you think they filmed in like a New York station? Oh, this is my favorite outfit.
Oh my god.
The Terminator!
Oh my god, oh, okay. I'll talk about it in detail after this finishes.
Okay. Oh, the Terminator again, that like splitting apart kind of thing.
The sound of it really reminded me of Junko Ohashi and like her song Telephone Number. Of Japanese 80s city pop. And city pop, I think, is just the genre that was given to like 80s music in Japan, because usually it was more centered in the cities. I know before we had mentioned it's very 90s nostalgia, and we were mentioning the Terminator with the hand, and then at the end with like when she
got like pieced apart.
But also, before, when we had reacted to this the first time around, we mentioned it's also very 90s because it reminds us of The Matrix because of the pleather. And your favorite scene, when I was rewatching it, it reminded me, that's even more like The Matrix because it's her leaving her body, or what she knew as her body, and in The Matrix, they're not necessarily living in that body, they're living in the pods, and like they come out, and I'm just like, she's coming into like another universe or another plane of existence, I guess.
Yeah, and if we go back to the beginning, at the bottom, I missed this the first time, but this time it says like this is DeVita showcasing like multiple sides of her, or multiple personalities. So I think like the outfit changes and the different scenes when she's like on this, like, I'm assuming it kind of looks like a spaceship because it kind of looks like CPR Live recent videos, and so it kind of reminds me of that. And there's also her like in the metropolitan kind of area because she's with her like friends, and they're like in front of the subway with the little like where you load up your car because it reminds me of the ones here. And also like you can see her like kind of take on a little bit of different personalities, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, I really loved all of it. It had amazing outfits, she looked beautiful, the song's amazing. I think it's just so different. It's not a genre that you typically hear. I don't think I've ever really heard anything like that. So it's an interesting new sound from her, and just in general. I think AOMG definitely found a gem in her. Her voice is amazing. I looked up who's the writer, and she's the writer of the song.
Oh, bet, yeah. Jumping a little bit back to our 90s theme, I forgot to mention the spaceship also reminded me of the Predator, like the Predator series.
Yeah.
So many like old school movie references that I'm glad I could finally get because I know in other like 90s inspired music videos, like some like Doja Cat's music videos, some of those references were too early 90s for me to get all of them, but for this one I was like, I think also I agree, I loved her sound. The only like similar thing that I've heard in Korean music right now is Busy Lady by Yubin. But even then, it's definitely
Yubin.
City pop, yeah.
Yubin from Wonder Girls.
Yeah. Even then, that song's like way more city pop. This one incorporated like different beats to make it sound like jazzy but city pop.
So I mean, yeah, I think that's all we have to say about this one. So it's a very nice, simple set. But I guess it makes sense because it's not her title track.
He wore the white in the snows and cuff. We in Chicago to sing Vita till we can find your soul, then it's really tough luck. We in Chicago to sing Vita till I gone. Wait till we can find the gold.
Oh, I love that Chicago reference. Usually it's like LA and New York that's the reference. Very few songs are from Chicago.
Even though we're one of the 3 major cities.
Right.
I really love that she's like very alluring presence. Like really this whole video is just about her, but she's just so, like, you're definitely immediately gravitated to her, and even if the set's simple, like she just draws you in. Oh, I like that blur they kind of did on her face. I don't know if you saw, it was very subtle. And I really like this, it kind of goes hand in hand again with the 90s nostalgia. Like, blur.
Yeah, and I think I just noticed too that when she's outside the capsule, she's wearing white. When she's inside, she's wearing black.
And also I think from the thumbnail of 1974 Live, it looks like it's a continuation.
Oh, I haven't checked the thumbnail, but yeah, I think it goes along with the Matrix. They're in the pods. Also, I don't know when the first one was made, but Resident Evil movies.
I feel like for us, the late 90s, early 2000s kind of blurred together. I mean, DeVita is from, her birth year has not been confirmed, but she seems to be from 96, which is when I was born. Ala was born 97, so it's still, I feel the nostalgia in her debut EP album. I'm not really sure what this is, but it just seems very fitting, I guess. But it also goes hand in hand with the sound. R&B, I think, had some of its best times were 90s and 2000s. For me personally, I feel like it's kind of like the best time of R&B, and I feel like slowly because we're kind of doing, I feel like, you know, we're always recycling trends and stuff, so I feel like we're slowly kind of getting back to a little bit of that sound, but with a modern twist.
Yeah, and I think when we first reacted to this, we looked a little bit more into her background and like her profile, because we were like, oh, she mentioned Chicago, and all her full album's in English, right?
I'm not sure, but it seems so far that it's going to be in English.
Right. So we looked a little bit into her background, and her stage name now is EVITA. Her former stage name was Chloe DeVita, because her English name was Chloe Cho. So her stage name used to be Chloe DeVita, but she shortened it to just DeVita. She was born and grew up in Korea, but she moved to Chicago in 2009. So we calculated it, and it seems like she was in Chicago for a total of 8.5 years, maybe?
Around there.
And her stage name, I don't know, I read somewhere that it came from some sort of movie. I think it was like an Italian movie, but also from the First Lady of Argentina, Evita Perón, and it was kind of to draw inspiration from her, in the sense like she wants to inspire people with her music.
Maria Eva Duarte, better known as Evita, was born May 7, 1919. She passed away July 26, 1952. She is known for her charitable work, labor rights activism, championing women's suffrage in her country, founding and running the nation's first large-scale female political party, and running for vice president of Argentina. She is considered an international pop culture icon and spiritual leader of the nation.
I think we wanted to know more about the Chicago reference, and if you guys listen in the background, I actually didn't catch this when it first showed up, but it wasn't until she said,
"You ready for this crime, babe?"
Yeah, at first, like that background noise, it sounded like a VHS tape, and then it sounded like railroad tracks, and then it sounded like, if you listen really carefully, you could hear like yelling and stuff, and it was gunshots, and I was like, oh, God, unexpected. And it didn't really click that it was gunshots until she said, are you ready for this crime, baby? So it's really interesting how she incorporated all those sounds without it sounding overpowering or drawing away from her singing.
Being from Chicago, having Chicago and that kind of ties in together, because I wouldn't say that gunshots are like the most common sound you hear in Chicago, but it is a part of living in Chicago, especially if you live close to the South Side. And the railroads, like I live next to some train tracks, and so some of those sounds like are kind of reminiscent of home, and so it's cool that to make those references, and you can kind of have an auditory experience of Chicago in a way.
Yeah, it makes me wonder what area she used to live in when she lived in Chicago. Yeah, super curious about that.
Oh, it kind of looks like it was filmed in LA because of the palm trees. And I'm thinking it's a skateboarding like rink, but it also could be like an empty pool.
Yeah, I guess it might be empty pool because of the diving board.
Baby, you could be my favorite love song. Have we been through too many wrongs to make it right? I'm still standing here. Please notice me. I'm all about you, babe. Can we work it out, babe?
Oh,
Don't let me
are you Francita?
Yeah.
Don't wanna write another heartbreak song. So tell me if you feel the same way. Can we go back again? Don't worry about another heartbreak love. You got me. I'm all about you, my baby. I'm all about you, my babe. I'm all about you, my baby. I'm all about you, my babe. Don't throw it away. Don't let me down, please. Let's work it out, babe. I'm all about you, my babe. Don't throw it away, yeah. If I get away, yeah, yeah. Don't throw it away, yeah. If I get away, yeah, yeah. Don't throw it away, yeah, yeah. If I get away, yeah, yeah. Don't throw it away, yeah, yeah. If I get away, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that was really pretty.
Definitely.
I'm not sure how involved she is in the decision-making processes for her music videos, but it does seem like she has a diverse cast whenever she has people, so I like that. It sounded pretty stripped down. It was also pretty, again, she does kind of simple sets, which is fine because these aren't her title tracks, and I don't expect like them to be pouring a shit ton of money on non-title tracks.
It doesn't seem like it's like an under budget project. I guess a simple music video, but like I was not expecting kind of the religious symbolism, especially with the cross, and then at the end with the white scarf drape veil. That she kind of she reminded me of like La Virgen, you know, because she draped herself like the Virgen at the end. I don't know. This popped up in my head. I don't know how, you know, valid it is, but it reminded me of just like maybe like the story between La Virgen and Jose.
Oh.
Yeah.
in a very simple way. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I guess you're right about all the religious symbolism. The choir sound, it kind of all seems to tie in together. Music videos will do the tie-ins very overtly and very blatantly, and which is fine, but I like when it's subtle and you have to kind of like dig through and kind of think it through.
Yeah, yeah. This is the same outfit she was wearing in the capsule for the movie? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't wanna lie, I'm doing just fine. Always curious, at least I know what it feels like now. 40 up, 40 down, down. 27 now, you let me down, down. 21, yeah, I'm browsing, not just anyone, I want you. I want you. So can we wait till I'm grown? I met you at 19. I'll count down if you're ready, babe, 'cause I'm home. Loving who I want seems impossible these days, and how come what I want is everything I cannot have? Oh, if you believed in us, if you believed in us, if you believed in us. 1974 love, you made me feel like 1974 love. Loving who I want seems impossible these days, and how come what I want is everything I cannot have? Oh, if you believed in us, if you believed in us, if you believed in us. 1974 love, you made me feel like 1974 love. You made me feel like 1974 love. You made me feel like 1974 love.
It was back to that simple R&B sound, but that like I love how it was a focus on her voice. It makes me wonder what happened in 1974, why that year. And she was counting back from 1974, right? I think with the ages.
Wait, what if she's talking about her parents? It might seem like, yeah, recounting of her parents' love story. And then I think it also maybe is like, because she's saying it seems impossible to love someone these days. So she might be comparing like the love scene or the dating or how dating is now to how it was with her parents. And I think I would have to listen to the lyrics again to have a better understanding. It's really pretty. I feel like that's what I keep saying, but it just is. I think it's been a while since I've listened to an R&B artist, R&B songs in general, and so I like the stripped downness of it. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, even if we compare it to like other Korean R&B artists, there's usually a lot more going on, more layering, like with Dean's songs, or even some of Crush's songs. Even though he does a lot of like more stripped down stuff, but like a lot of the ones that are heard, well, a lot of the time are very, very layered, which is cool too. But like this one's a nice change of pace. Super impressive considering that when did she join AOMG? I didn't find an exact date for when she joined AOMG, but it said like she joined in 2020, so this year. So yeah, she's been working a long time on this, and like it's come out beautifully.
Is that reverb?
Sounds like it.
I wanna do this the right way, babe.
Yeah.
Pretty face, heartbreak, you know how it goes. Wrong man, right time, right place, but I need to let you know that I'm done with the fuck shit. I'ma let you know, cause I'm tired of getting played. Treat her like shit, this one is they see him hit, so sudden they move quick like Shadi as a EVITA. No, they ain't shit, cause soon as I let him in, so sudden they move quick. Oh, now you can commit, oh. I need you to show me some, baby, cause I ain't tryna lose my way. Show me your bad intentions, I'd rather you lay down. I don't wanna be let down, so I'm real, I need to see you. I've heard it all before, babe, but I need you to show me some, show me some, show me some, show me some, baby, show me some, show me some, show me some, baby, I've been done. Show me some, show me some, show me some, show me some, baby, show me some, show me some, show me some, baby, I've been done waiting. 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 Baby, I've been done waiting.
Is that it? Oh, no.
I don't know.
I'm here to find love, looking for something more than one night of fun. Like maybe there's something better. I wanna find love, yeah, someone to hold me closer and make me feel love. So are you real? Can you show me? Treat her like shit, as soon as they see him hit, so sudden they move quick like Shadi as a EVITA. No, they ain't shit, cause soon as I let him in, so sudden they move quick. Oh, now you can commit, oh. I've heard it all before, babe. Can you show me? Show me some, show me some, show me some, show me some, baby, show me some, show me some, show me some, baby, I've been done. Show me some, show me some, show me some, show me some, baby, show me some, show me some, show me some, baby, I've been done.
For this last song, I think it was really nice to end with the song because I quickly pointed out different lyrics that connected it to other songs, like she said like something about heartbreak. There was like this like 2 lines like she connected it to like lyrics from the other songs, and I was like, oh, nice. Also, if you guys saw me panic a little during the video, it's because my computer was running out of battery, and I was like, dear God, don't like run out yet.
We're professionals.
But it's okay now. I got the charger, but that's why I was panicking. But I was trying to vibe with it. It was a great song. I loved it.
For me, I love that the beginning of the album starts with such an upbeat song, which is EVITA, and it ends, I wouldn't say with an upbeat song, it's not necessarily upbeat, but it's like, you know how we were talking about the songs in the middle are more stripped down, more focusing on her voice, but she didn't do any runs or anything like falsetto or anything, I want to say special with her voice for those songs in the middle. But she did with this last song. She actually was able to do a little bit of a showing off of her voice, what she can do. It also kind of went back to that layered sound that we were talking about with more recent R&B songs that have layer of the voice and more effects on the sound, like the instruments and her voice too. I love the reverb. I know at the beginning I was like, oh, is that reverb? But it's really cool because it is technically a simple, like, just like a few chords being played, but the reverb adds a little bit to it, and I love that I like that there was more of a noticeable like climax to the song. We read someone's comment and they said, oh, this is the best song on the album. Something.
Don't know why it's not a single or something like that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that it's the best song. I really like it, but I wouldn't say it's the best song, but I do agree with the fact that he or she or they questioned why it's not a single, because it does seem very single worthy. I know that it's not really a whole album. It's only 5 songs, so I'm assuming it's more of an, right? Yeah, I'm assuming it's more of an EP. So I am also questioning why it's not a single, but I can understand because it's not a lengthy album. So I would love to see a live performance of at least EVITA, because that's the single, but I would love to see one of Show Me, just because she does a little bit more with her voice. It's a little bit more showy or flashy with her voice. But I don't know how realistic it is to expect a live performance on a music show or any kind of show, just because it isn't typical for artists who aren't K-pop artists or soloists to have live performances on mainstream media. And so, like I said, there's a lot of noises in our home. Quarantine means that everyone in the house is home and everyone's making noise. So if you hear a lot of people, I'm sorry.
But per your comment about music shows, I think the music show that would be a little bit more viable for her would be Yuhi Yol Sketchbook, because it's kind of like talk showy, and like other K R&B artists have been on there, and I think a lot of the AOMG guys have been on there. I think, if I'm not wrong.
I believe Jay definitely has been, and Loco.
Yeah. I think maybe Gray's. I don't know. A couple of them have been on there.
It makes sense for them to be on there.
Yeah, and I think I don't know, it might be still a little bit too early for her to be on that show, but if she were on it, it's so amazing. I would definitely tune in.
Yeah, I think I thoroughly enjoy her voice, the tone, what she can do with her voice thus far that we've seen on these tracks. And I know that she's had a few singles or a few songs, because she did that collaboration with Ugly Duck prior to signing on to AOMG.
Yeah, I was just like looking up the other songs that she's done, and then the one she did with Ugly Duck was under her other stage name, Chloe DeVita, called Sugar. Yeah. All
right, well, this is the whole album of DeVita called CRÈME. It's her debut album. She just released it this past month. Please
on Spotify, YouTube.
Go ahead, go stream it. She's amazing. You heard it with us. But yeah, that's all from us today. And this has been an episode of This is the Real World Reacts. Bye.